So I had a good friend reach out a while back asking if I could make some cornhole boards. At the time I was pretty busy, but I told him, as long as you don't mind waiting, I don't mind making them, but I'll make them worth the wait. In order to kind of finalize the design, I decided to do these up in SketchUp. That way I could get a visual of the design. I've had these really wide white oak and red oak boards laying around. I figured these would be the perfect boards for the base of these.
I think I'll keep these together. This. It's got that ray fleck and stuff. I think I'll keep them together. Drop them on the ground and rough them up a little bit.
I hate to get all controversial on here, but there's a study said there's two types of people who watch my videos. One who will watch this video and like it and then subscribe to the channel, and then the other who will walk around barefoot at night and step on Legos and enjoy it.
The facts of this study may be made up. If you're watching this video, like and subscribe to the channel.
Since I made this sweet miter sled for the Lego build, I might as well miter these corners too. The way I use this is pretty simple. I cut them to size on the chop saw and then size them from the end. That way they're the same length, they're just mitered on the end after the process. And this whole step right here exists because I just randomly cut two of these boards too wide. I decided not to use dowels or anything in these because these were actually going to have a few points of contact. One is that they were going to be splined. The second one was that they were going to be glued on the inside by an extra support. And of course the third one is the top being attached. What you're not seeing here is me looking for the ratchet clamps for 30 minutes. Only to stop filming and then find them when I'm walking out. So that's why they just magically appeared on the project. Spoiler alert, it wasn't magic. So I drew this temporary jig up on the CNC just for this project. But then, as I was making it, I kind of realized, hey, I can use this for a lot of stuff. So part of it is well done and part of it is kind of rigged up. At some point in the future I may revisit it and make it a little better. Oddly, I started using this little file, but in the end what worked best was a popsicle stick with sandpaper around it. All I had to do now was cut these thin strips of walnut I had laying around for the splines. Then it was time for that hurry up and wait process. Glue them all up and cut them all flush. For the legs, I didn't want the screw to be seen on the outside, so I used these threaded inserts. Doing this allowed me to keep the clean lines on the outside, just like you would do with furniture. I need to research a better way to countersink this, so if you know of a better way, let me know in the comments below. My Craig pocket hole jig finally gave out, so I knew I needed to get a new one, and I thought, man, I'll get one of these aluminum ones off Amazon and make a bracket to where I can attach them straight onto my table. Well, there's a lesson in this. Well, I was looking at a Massca, and then I thought, you can't really screw up a pocket hole jig. I'll just find a cheap one and buy it. You can screw up a pocket hole jig. I was totally wrong.
Look at this shit. Cheap mother.
So on my last day of vacation, I went ahead and ordered a Massca to be there when I got back. And man, this thing is way, way better. This thing is really nice. Even though I've actually got a hole saw in this size from the last cornhole boards I built, now that I've got a CNC, I took the easy way out. I still had to go old school on this because I didn't draw it up enough to know what the leg height was supposed to be at the end of the cut. So it actually just fit right on this one workbench, which made it easy for me to just prop it up. That way I could mark the line to cut. I decided to bevel these a little bit rather than round them off. I wanted those clean lines for them. Since one set of these was heading to Union Hill Trading Post and the other two sets were heading to really good friends of mine, I wanted these to have a nice durable finish on them. So I decided on a water-based polyurethane. The reason I use water-based is so that it wouldn't darken the wood as much. I'll also note that I put a coat on before I stained them. That way there was less chance that there was any bleed over. A few of these holes were done with that janky pocket jig, so I couldn't really find a screw in between and had to put a washer on top of the pocket screw. Not really my favorite thing to ever have to do, but it worked fine. Now all I had to do was follow my design. I'd convinced my wife to cut these templates out on the cry cut. That way all I had to do was tape them down and put stain in between them. In the end, I'm really happy with how these turned out, and I hope they get a lot of use. As usual, if you made it this far in the video, like and subscribe.